Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live show. Got a lot to get back from yesterday. Appreciate y'all being in here and coming back. Yesterday was a rough day for sure. I think most people know that if you were on the live show yesterday. It's not like there were many differences from the live to the non-live. Bobby Portis was the sinking cost that brought us down. So a lot of it Bobby P exposure. I felt like I was struggling to get a hold of what was going on with the news with Dame playing and not. Altogether, yesterday was a bad day. We have a pretty small slate today, so I'm not going to be going completely buck wild on it, but I am going to be starting on tomorrow's slate pretty soon after this show because we've got every single team in the league playing tomorrow. So we got to keep that in mind. I'm going to go over the schedule with you guys and take a look at that, but can't be running from the losses. And yesterday was a lot of them, 4-10, minus 5.5 units. Not as fun to do this on the losing days. I'll be honest with you. Not as fun to do the video for today. Not as fucking fun to do anything. Pretty much anything. So we'll maybe we spend some of these days after these kind of losses talking about mental health, like health more than anything, health, all that, just so that you can kind of know, like, look, you're going to lose 45% of the time if you're a winning bettor when you play player props. So you got to learn how to deal with the losses. I dealt with it yesterday by not paying attention to hoop until the very, very end of the night when I recouped all the losses. But let's get through into today's slate pretty quick. Obviously, Bobby Portis was the play of the day that sunk everything. We'll keep going back to the Utah Jazz. God bless Utah in every way, except for some ways. But God bless their players anyway. Maybe not their fans. Miles Bridges hooked us. Derek White couldn't get 2 more points. Had 10 at the half. That was a little rough. Peyton Pritchard went 1 for 9 from 3. But you add all that stuff together, I just went in on Bobby P, and that's really what did us, right? I mean, LeBron and Doncic sent some flyers out on them at the end of the night there with the assist because I really thought they were both going to have their dimes in that game against Utah. Didn't even need to. They just smashed them. But we live and learn, man. We move on. So I'm going to be still up 51 units after yesterday. Feeling very, very good about that. Would love to have a couple winning days before we close out for the All-Star break. So that's where we're at right now. Do want to give you guys the opportunity to get in before the heater kicks back in. If you do want to get in for a free month of VIP, you can sign up for any of the sports books. I added a couple to them as well. There's Novig is now in there, and there's a couple other partners that I did not have earlier that are now available. If you want to check the links in the description of the video, that'll have everything you need. Go ahead and sign up using code LYB. Then send me a screenshot showing me you did that. You can hit me at JLBoogie on Twitter or Discord, and I'll go ahead and get you a free month in the VIP. And then you can tell the wins that are coming up here as we feel good about it. So let me start sharing my screen and get into what we have for today. I've got a couple bets down on the card already, but obviously need to get some looks from you guys as well. We'll see what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to be just going crazy today. There's not enough to just play straight volume without having to be a little bit cautious. So let me get Props Madness up here on the screen and we'll get into it. The 2 looks that I have while I'm bringing this up. Actually, you know what, David? Let me toss it over to you. I know you had some thought starters and some plays that you guys were looking at in the VIP chat. You and the homie Blazy, who might be in here right now. Do you want to go into some of that stuff while I bring up Props Madness? Make sure that you're not on mute too.
We were we were talking about some value. You brought up PRA for a sore. Like, I really like the assists too. If you're trying to like add something in there
for Osar Thompson,
yeah.
I have him for PRA. And you said what did you like for him?
Just like I really like the assist look, like the value there specifically, like in that. So even just like kind of building off of like what you noticed already. I really like that play. It was plus money earlier.
It was plus like 240 much earlier. So somebody's been playing this as well alongside what you were thinking, which works. I mean, I like adding the assist to the points and rebounds for him in my bet, which I took at 19.5. I would still take that at minus 125. I got it minus 120. ESPN bet it's available minus 105. I think he's just going to keep getting the involvement. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to take the value plan, the assist, it's a little bit gone. You can still get plus 105, but I wouldn't be taking that necessarily for anything less than plus money. I know he's gotten some here lately, but you got it at what number here for the 2.5?
I got it at plus 110 earlier today.
Okay. Yeah, it's been dropping steadily. I think it's become a popular look when people are looking for easy assist plays against the Chicago Bulls, second most assists allowed, which I'm sure you were looking at as well, right? So what were some of the other things that you had?
Well, the other one that I really liked in that same game is so he got a triple-double last time, so it's a little chalky, but I like Vooch assists and threes.
Okay. 3.5 dimes. Yeah, I was considering this as well. 3.5 dimes. I know he had 10 of them last game, 3 the game before, but I mean 8 potentials and 13 potentials. It's pretty good average against this team. What did he do last year? Yeah, a couple games. I mean, to the point you're making, why do you like the threes and assists specifically for Vooch?
He's done it in the past, and they give it up to the center position, especially the assists. And I can just see him knocking down a couple threes today.
Yeah,
and put it together, and it's a nice little single or a parlay.
Yep. And so this is also a good moment in time to be like, well, so let's see real quick. Yeah. Assists. So asking ourselves why, right? Like why do they give up 4.8 assists to centers? Why do they give up so many threes to centers, second most to the position? And when you look at a couple of different defenses, this is where it helps to know things about matchup, coaches, and sort of the defensive style for each team. And really what it comes down to in the NBA is everybody's playing pick and roll, right? That's like the most popular play in the league at this point. And with that in mind, then that leaves the center on the defense with 2 options. He can either drop and make sure that he's defending the paint, or he can hedge out and make sure that the point guard doesn't get a shot off, right? If he hedges out to the point guard, then the point guard's going to not have as much opportunity to shoot and is going to have to get a lot more assists. The center's probably going to get a few more points. But Detroit drops down, right? Jalen Duren does not hedge out on the screen when they run the pick and roll. He drops into the paint to keep defending the paint, which leaves Vooch open at the top of the key, either to shoot from 3 or to have the option to keep passing around the wing, because he's going to stay out there to keep that problem present for Jalen Duren. So whenever you get a guy like Vooch against the Pistons, I completely agree. Like a Brolo type, a Vooch type, anybody who's shooting threes from above the break at center, it's a good look there. And then as far as the assists, like, yeah, that's mostly what it is him playing out on the perimeter and having the ability to run the sort of dribble handoff as well, which is another thing I like to look at. If I go to like a player like Ayo, I can look at the play type analysis and see the handoff here. And Detroit is 11th worst at limiting points to the dribble handoff, which would give Vooch the opportunity to get those easy assists as well. So I definitely vibe with everything that you're saying there, David, with you and the homies who came up with some stuff for Vooch here. It's 1.5 threes. Yeah, it's going to be juiced down at this point. You might have been able to get it at the open, but this is going to be a popular play, sort of what we call a system play a lot for people with Vooch against a drop defensive coverage like that. But any others before we get into some of the looks from the chat?
Beasley looked interesting to me, but I want to check with you.
What are you doing to me? You're going to make me have to talk about.
Well, first I wanted to check if you were going to bet on him, and if not, then I was even more interested. So.
See, you're putting me in this position where I can't win money off it, but I can help you guys win money.
The other thing that I found interesting that I saw during the game, he's got a relationship with Schroeder, and like Beasley's mom, I guess, is from Germany and speaks German, so they like used to live together and stuff. Wow. So I just noticed when they're on the court together, they both seem like they have some more confidence. I don't know if we're reading into that too much, but
that's deep level insider knowledge. I'm not going to use it to say that Malik is more likely to get threes, but or like feel better about it, but maybe Schroeder's looking for him more. Schroeder's he's in the toilet bowl right now, as far as I'm concerned. Man, this dude, he did not look good in the first game either. Only played 15 minutes, but not very good minutes. So, but that is, I love that. I love having that level of insider knowledge as well. Any type of stuff like that can eventually be usable, I would imagine. Not sure how to use it in this one, but Malik, the thing about Chicago is they're pretty bad against everything except for kind of not the spot up. If you look at Malik real quick, let me pull him up. Damn, they have so many props available for so many guys on Chicago because so many guys are going to get like 15 to 20 minutes. Kind of makes you nervous. But Malik, the only thing here about the spot up is what I keep coming back to. For some reason, like Chicago is awful against the anybody who's shooting off the pull up. That's why they're so bad against the pick and roll ball handler, but they're not as bad against the spot up. At the same time, they're bad, right? They're still the 3rd worst defense, the defensive rated team in the league for Chicago. So
3-point
they're not even
attempts
good against
too.
the spot up. But what's that?
3-point attempts was like the magnet that I found attractive, because like you assume he's going to take them anyways, but if they're giving them up at such a high rate, I don't know.
Right? So they're giving up
I forget the number
second
exactly,
most
but
3-point attempts allowed. So that is helpful knowledge, and that's partly because of volume, right? Like they're playing so fast that they're going to have more possessions that are going to give up more opportunities to score. So yeah, I mean the 3-point attempts are a good look. What did he do against them last time? He went 12 and 19 at 5 and 5. Is it at 3.5 or 4.5? 3.5 or minus, for juice doo-doo odds. That's basically where he's at now. And he's taking like 80% of his shots from three. So you're better off taking the three prop. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But if he doesn't get the threes, he's not likely to even get 15, 16. Well, he has 16 or 17 points is what he needs. So would you take the threes or the points from Malik?
Once the number went up for points, I liked the threes better. Like if it was, if it was a good odds for like 15, then I like it because of the math.
Yeah.
But what you said is totally spot on. Yeah, the threes to me, because that's where he's going to do it.
Yep. So you might as well, I mean, if you think anything, like almost just put a flyer on 5+, and then just put like a less than a full unit on the 5+ for good money, right? That's probably how I'd play Malik. Once you get to this weird thing with these props where it's like you can only hit one at a time. Right, with points, you can get 2, 3. Hell, you could even get 4 at a time. But if you're talking about assists, threes, you can only get 1 per possession, right? Rebounds, the same thing. Although you can occasionally get the 2 rebounds on 1 possession, but you get my point. So it's harder to come by, which is why it's like when we get to this point where it's like 3.5 or 4.5, and I got to choose 4.5 for plus money or 3.5 for doo-doo money. With these types of props, I probably just take in this particular situation, I'll just take the 5+ for like hopefully close to plus 140 or so would be where I'd imagine the 4.5 over would be for him to hit 5+. But I'll probably pass on Malik today and let y'all try to mess with taking his props. I did have one more, and I actually think it's important because we don't have any Miles Turner news yet, right, David?
Let me double check, but
no,
a minute ago.
Right, cool. So this is where I'm going, and I put this in the VIP already. I think we're going to see Miles Turner not play today, and this is doing a little bit more sleuthing like I've done and shown y'all in the past. I'm not sure if you guys are walking away using any of this, but I'm pulling up the injury report real quick for this Indy and New York game. So I'm going to go over there for 1 second, get back into the comments in a minute. But appreciate you guys being in here. I see a lot of you guys shouting at everybody out and coming back after a bad day. So hopefully y'all know we're in it for the long haul. But I'm looking here real quick at this injury report because what I did to sleuth a little bit anyway was one, you're not gonna see it on here, but DeAndre Ayton ruled out. That's tomorrow. Yeah, let's hold on to the tomorrow stuff. There's probably going to be like 30, 40 different injury updates coming out for tomorrow. We're going to get flooded with those. But if we get anything for Tuesday, we can work with that. So he's questionable. They had Quentin Jackson's doubtful, blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking at the two-way stuff. These guys are remaining questionable until we see what happens with Miles Turner. But the other thing that happened was they just signed Jahlil Okafor to a 10-day contract. Right from the G League, the Mad Ants, dude's killing it in the G League right now. You remember Ja, the other Ja? He's been doing awesome. So he just got signed to a 10-day right before the All-Star break. He's either playing today or tomorrow for Jahlil, which means that Miles is either out today or tomorrow. I'm saying it's today. Even if he plays today, I don't think he's going to get enough minutes to make a difference for Obi. So that's why I went right to Obi Toppin to see what he does. Obviously, without Miles Turner, obviously it's really good. And I don't think like anybody like Jahlil Okafor or anybody like that is going to cut into Obi's time. I love the matchup for Obi against this defense still without Mitch Rob. So you've got him playing a ton more without Miles Turner. First thing I'm looking at here, you can see minutes, right? If you were using Props Madness and you go scroll down, right underneath the chart right here is going to show you the averages for what you've chosen, the amount of time or whatever filter you're using. So you can see here it says on the average of with this filter without Miles Turner that he averages 25.6 minutes per game. Right next to that it says on the season he averages 19 minutes per game. So we know he's getting 6.5 more with Miles Turner out than when he's available. The other thing we can go to here, field goal attempts, I wanted to know about. Those go skyrocketing, right? From 7 per game with Miles to 11 per game without Miles. I love that I don't even have to leave Props Madness anymore to find the averages. Daft and I were talking about this on the live yesterday. Like, this is huge because I can see a little bit more of the average of how he does over the course of these very specific filters, which is without Miles Turner. So I just love the usage for him. I don't think that's going to go down. As far as the matchup and using Props Madness here, at the bottom where you can see season shot chart, you can also see play type analysis. So what I'm looking at here on the shot chart, they are 22nd limiting points from this corner, 17th from this corner. Overall in the season, they're in the bottom 10 limiting points from the corners in the three ball there. You can see he's scoring 20% of his points, 14 from this corner, 6 from this corner to get 20% of his points from the corner threes. And the other roughly, this is like 58%, right, coming from over here. So almost 80% of his points are coming from either inside the paint right here or out on the corners. Cat is bad on defense. We all know that. That's going to be, might not even be his main matchup. It's going to be a little bit of Precious Achua. Neither of them are quick enough to hang with Obi. You can see athletic, high-flying power forwards really give them problems, like PJ Washington, Jalen Smith, Rui Hachimura, all guys that play similar in a lot of ways to Rui, with the ability to shoot from out wide and be a big body that can go to the rim. So all that to say, I love Obi. I took him for 15 plus at plus 400. I think that's just going to be a great CLV bet when Miles Turner is hopefully ruled out.
12 seconds ago, Miles Turner out through All-Star break.
So get all those bets in. That's why Jahlil Okafor is on this team, is so that Miles Turner can get his rest before the All-Star break. Thank you for reporting that, because that makes me feel a lot better about shit. So Turner out, get in those OB bets. That CLV is about to skyrocket for me. Hopefully y'all can get it in. I'm assuming they're taking his bets down for a minute and they'll put them back up. We might even get Thomas Bryant looks as well for the rebounds. I don't know if I want to take that or not for Thomas Bryant. This is a terrible, horrible, awful matchup for Thomas Bryant, having to go up against Cat, but he's going to, I guess, have to do it. And they'll probably throw Jahlil Okafor out there to just get beat up for a bit and pick up some fouls on Cat. We missed the boat on Cat points. That would have been another look with the Miles Turner. That's going to be an effect of not having a big body that can hang with somebody like Cat. 24.5 might still be playable, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to mess with that too much. I'm trying to find my value today as much as I can and save some bankroll for tomorrow, since after a horrible, horrible day yesterday, which I've now said too many times. All right, so as far as this game goes, let me see if y'all got anything else for it. I'm going to jump in the comments and see what we got. We got some starred comments from David. Much appreciated. I'll allow us to get over anything, but I don't have much for this Philly and Toronto game until we know what's up with Joel. We're still just having props trickle out for guys. We couldn't just get those all in bulk for the 76ers. And as I was telling the homies in the VIP, I don't Toronto's turning into a no bet, like just a complete stay away team for me on the betting. Like, I don't know how to bet on teams that aren't trying to win. So that's going to be how I'm looking at them, the Nets, the Wizards, the Hornets. Tough to bet on these teams, man, especially with the blowout implications all the time. So, all right, let me get into the comments. I'll still look at anything you want. I don't have anything for Memphis, Phoenix just yet. There's a couple of things I could be interested in, but let me see where you guys are at. Strange music. Interesting you brought this up. Ayo Dosunmu under 20.5 PRA. That seems to be a popular look, actually. This was at 22. It's down to 21 in some places, 20.5 in others. So you could, if you want to go under this, go 21.5. I know this is a high number for somebody who's been going under this a lot. And the Pistons are not a bad defense. I actually think it's a pretty good look, considering he's going to be the main defender on Cade Cunningham. So that is going to lead to him pretty focused on that. But obviously this hit rate right here as of late is also going to attract people to this bet. And he's not playing less minutes. The thing that scares me too is in the last 3 games, I was just looking at this for Chicago. He's like second or third on the team in touches. So he's still super involved. He's actually got more assists over the course of the last, let's say 5 games. Since when was Zach LaVine officially gone? Was he? So LaVine was still around. LaVine. So this is where the last 3 games. This is what I was looking at. Was the last 3 games for this team. His assists are actually pretty high. I don't know if you need to add those. They actually have it at 4.5. That's crazy. So he's averaging the 5.7 only because he had that big game against the Heat. And then 5 potentials, 8 potentials. Like, the potentials are kind of there. The rebounds, not really there, or the rebound chances. Maybe you want to go under on the PR. But this dude's still like leading the team in assists over the last 3 games. One of them was 9, but the amount of touches that he has, the amount of involvement that he has in the offense, it still scares me to go under too much. But potentially the points and rebounds would be a little bit juicier than adding the assists in there with the amount that he is. Potentials still up pretty high, 8 potentials, 5 and 11. So he's right at about 8 potential assists per game. He's just a little bit too involved for me to go under, but I appreciate the look because it definitely is intriguing at the very least. Let's see. I got one from Andre talking about Immanuel Quickley under 6.5 assists. Last 5 games, 80% to the under. All right, let's start with something there for IQ.
He was injured though over that period, and now he's off his minutes restriction. I was actually looking at him to make a play.
Yeah. Today. So you were considering an under and saw that his minutes have been going up.
He's just somebody I've had my eye on because I had been playing the under at halftime, knowing he only played like 5 or 6 minutes in the third.
Right.
But when we looked into it deeper today, he's off minutes restriction the last 2 games. So just, and Andre's totally right. Just keep that in mind.
You're throwing a reason for why. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we're doing here. People want to know if there's info that they're missing, or why or why not should I bet this, right? So that's very helpful, because the why not would be, don't be fooled by the minutes: 15, 17, 21, 28, 30. So it seems like, to David's point, did you see any news about that, David, from like coaches or anything, or is that just what you noticed with the minutes?
It wasn't me specifically, but Blaziken did the research for me.
Nice. Hey, I mean, if you guys are a team, then you can bring forth the good info for the people. Either way, it's all good. All right, yeah, I can see. So that is something to just be aware of. If we look at the assists, those have been down a ton against the Rockets. Really tough team to assist against. He still had 12 potentials against them. This is a high number, though. I will give you that. Like 6.5 is still pretty high for on the season, a guy who has not been doing that. The 76ers, they do give up the 7th most assists. That could be why this is a little bit low as well, or a little bit high rather, is because of the amount that they give up assists. So I would be going under 6.5 before I went over. I will definitely say that. Minutes are not like, this is not a team you get potential. He's got a lot of potentials recently. I'd be going under before over, but you can bring that one back up real quick, David. I missed that. That was Blaziken. Quickley, 2.5 threes. Philly allows 5th most threes of the PG. No minutes restriction, last 2. 6.5 and assists also looks good. Yeah, so you like the assists. I might be a bit more keen to play the threes. This team is limiting 3-point attempts, but they do give up a ton to point guards, as you say. And are they bad off the pick? No, they're not bad against the pick and roll. I hate when I feel like there's conflicting info for the sort of game theory that I form. But 48% of his shots and his points rather coming from above the break. So that is where they are pretty weak. I could see the threes for Quickley. The 2.5 is juiced all the way up, but yeah, it's based on attempts too. Like in these last 5. 9 in this last game. So if he's going to be playing normal minutes, shooting from above the break, these are teams to score against. Like Houston was a team that you score above the break. He had 20 in that game. That's pretty impressive. What's his points prop at? Interesting. Yeah, I think I'd like the points, to be honest, just as a whole, rather than anything else. And if you can get 16.5, that's not a bad consideration. I mean, if we look at the games this season, Yehoshua likes Quickley on the RA, which I can dig too. Let me put this up there. So he's played 15 games this season. How many games has he played 30 minutes? Yeah, he's played 7 games, 30 minutes, averaging 17 in those games. So things are going up, and they're definitely like pretty fairly priced. You know what I mean? 6.5 in these games that he's playing 30 plus minutes.
Without RJ too, I think makes a difference.
Okay, in terms of dimes or what?
Just everything.
Everything. So 3 games without RJ playing 30 plus. Tough game against the Rockets, but still getting there on the points. Still, 17.3 points per game. It's tough to bet on this team. I think he's probably good for the shots. Look at the boards. Look at the big boards on Quickley. Damn. What? I mean, this is juiced all the way down. 3.5 is a pretty low number.
He had that. He's not built like him at all, but he has that Goga level, like compete level.
Yeah, competitor. Oh yeah, he's a competitor. IQ is crazy like that. That's what made him New Yorkers love him. But yeah, this is a situation. There's not a huge sample size, but this is a situation where it would make sense to be doing that. Let me look at one thing real quick for this Toronto team. As far as matchup goes, matchup aside, let me pull up. Okay, cool. Our resident Toronto beat reporter, Cody. Appreciate you, my guy. The Toronto Raptors fan. You know I love your team when they have their players playing. They just rarely have their players playing. Let me pull up on court. So what I'm looking at right now is on court to see how does IQ play. Let me get a couple guys off court. So we know Brucey B is gone. Davion is gone. We still got Dick around. Jakob is not playing in this game. Kelly Olynyk is gone. RJ's out. This is just every day with this shit, with this NBA right now. All right, so we're taking those players off court. And then let's just put a couple guys on court like IQ, Scotty Bonds. And I guess we should put Dick on court because we know he's going to be there. He's always
said he's available to play.
Dick is available.
Dick's available tonight.
Don't be sending that to too many people, David, via text or anything. All right, 24 minutes is all they've played together. Give me I can't do shit with this. Let's take Dick off court. Dick's unavailable now. Dick is off the menu. Minutes go up. It's not going to go up because he's been I guess it did. Yeah, there we go. 61. All right, so these dudes have been on the court 61 minutes together. IQ looking, yeah, his rebounds and assist numbers looking really good, to the point that Yehoshua made a minute earlier. 10.5 is pretty low. I like where your head is at, my man. So 20 points though per 36, probably got him for 32 minutes in this game. I think that's fair. 32 minutes on court with Scotty. Magbo is going to start. So is Ochai. And then we'll see Dick start and Walter come off the bench. But I love to play Jacoby Walter, but they don't give him the minutes, my man. Like, they just don't give Burrow the minutes. I thought he was going to get more minutes last game. Cody, any word on Jacoby Walter? Like, let me know in the comments if the coaching staff seems like, I thought that I read that the coaching staff was all in on Jacoby and was going to start giving him more minutes. I played him last game. He just like inched over the prop that I needed to win the bet, but it felt a little bit like a steal based on the fact they didn't play him until like 4 minutes left in the third quarter, which was not enough. But I can see the RA. Now you got me intrigued on the Quickley RA. 10.5 was a good shout out by Yehoshua. I don't know if this is going to drop down or not. There's nobody that's going to play in there. This is without RJ in the 3 games that he's played without RJ. This is with the minutes though. So yeah, I mean, there's 6 games here. He's gone over in 4 or 6. He's averaging about 12. This is telling you that when he's played without RJ and all those guys, and he's on court with Scotty, and then all these other bros, we're talking about 14 rebounds and assists per 36 minutes, which should still be good for about 13 in the amount of time he's going to be on the court. So do we like that for Immanuel Quickley enough to play it is the question. I think it's a great look. I'm pretty into the idea of playing. Let me see. Assist 6.5. So that's 4. Yeah. So 7 plus 4 is 11, but that's why it's 10.5. But we still get really good juice for it. I think that's the way. I hope so. I really hope so, because I really want to bet on him, but I just don't know how comfortable I feel or not. I think I'm going to tail you on that, Yehoshua. I think that's the play here, is the rebounds and assists combined. I mean, the PRA isn't a bad look. It's if you give him the 30 minutes, this is going to be a really good number, I bet. 30 plus. Yeah, just missed against Orlando. Much better defense, to be fair. Still had 9 rebound chances, 11 potential assists. Over here, a ton. Let's make sure Scotty wasn't missing. Yeah, Scotty's still around in all these games too. So, yeah, I'm now.
Would Daft add the 3 points?
Say again.
Would Daft add the 3 points?
How do you mean?
I don't know. I like the 3 points a lot, but they're juiced, right? Like, do you like RA enough just to add the 3s?
How do you mean add the 3s? Like,
just like a little parlay, like
parlay them.
The 2, what is it? 2.5 for 135.
Yeah, no, I don't love the 3s. That's why I kind of went away from them. I honestly don't love 3s props in general. I might just have a sort of bias, like because of the fact that it's like perception bias. Like, I just feel like when I play them, the guys just go 2 for 10. I'm just chasing volume with the 3s. I don't know how to necessarily get there with IQ that he's going to be taking a ton of them from up top. Right? Like with 3s, I'm just going like, how many do I think he's going to take? And if I think he's going to take a good amount, and I think he's going to take 9 to 10, and I can get there with that projection, then I go, okay, if I think he's going to take 9 and I need him to hit 3, that's only 33%. He's a 33% 3-point shooter. So this is a good bet at plus 115.
I like that formula,
but I don't know how to project the volume of 3s that he's going to take. Right. So that's why I don't like that. But the rebounds and assists, I know he's going to be playing 32 minutes. Then I'm confident in the rebound chances and the potential assists, which are pretty high over here. You're a saucy little minx. 26 on the average. So yeah, let me go ahead and let's tail Yehoshua. I love the look, dude. Great call. I'm gonna do the 10.5 on FanDuel. I'm gonna get this bet down. 10.5 rebounds and assists for Mr. Quickley. That's where I'm going. All right. Putting this up. Manual Quickley over 10.5 RA minus 104 FD. That is going to be playable too. If you can get Quickley at minus 125 is still playable with like a nice 22% edge. So you still have a really nice edge if you play over 10.5 at minus 125 for Immanuel Quickley. Pretty nice edge there. Yeah, that's crazy. That would be all right. Let's see here. Getting this up real quick. Get my own bet down. Thank you very much. All right. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, keep it moving here. Rebounds assist is good. I think the PRA is probably good too. 27.5, but that I don't even care about this as much as I care about the points are at 19, 20. So still a decent edge, but the rebounds and assists where you get the biggest edge for Immanuel Quickley. So great shout by Yehoshua. That's gonna be scrolling on the bottom line as well. Now, let me just keep going through. We should probably talk about let's see. Oh, and Strange Music had it too. I think if the 9.5 is available anywhere, good look as well. Blazy coming in with Tyus. I really want to take Tyus. I haven't projected for about 7.2 on the dimes here for Tyus Jones without Brad Beal, but I still can't quite get there for the edge. I mean, 6.5 even money is not bad with KD and Book and without Brad Beal. If we're just looking at that for a minute, really nice numbers here. He does average about 7.5 assists per 36 when he's playing. He's averaging 31 minutes in these games, couple up from his normals. So when Brad Beal is out, so now you pique my interest big time with this hit rate, obviously 8.6 per game in those situations, averaging a pretty good number per 36 as well. I'm just going to go back over this because this is what I was looking at earlier to put on court Tyus Jones. What can we call him? Ty Jones, Ty Jones, Devin Booker, KD and Ty Jones, putting them on court and then taking everybody off court who's not going to be out there, which includes Brad Beal. That includes Nurk, who's gone, Okogie, who's gone, and someone else is gone. Nope, nobody else is gone. All right, so those guys are all going to be off court. On court, we're going to have Book, KD, Tyus Jones, 287 minutes. That's good enough sample size for me. So Ty Jones, 7.5 assists per 36. You put him in about 32 minutes per game. This is why it's like right on the edge, right? For him to need 7 is like right on the edge as far as what he's done just in general with these dudes on court, off court. Now, the games that they've been playing, and this is not a bad matchup for assists when you consider that this team is going to blitz people. But if the ball is in, yeah, I mean, this should have been the case here too. Yeah, I think it's a good look. I don't know if I have the gall to play it at 6. I mean, 6.5 plus money is worth it. Man, you got to take the situation into account. Yeah, I mean, plus 114 is going to be worth it in this situation. Memphis, tough D, kind of scares me, to be honest with Memphis. Playing Memphis against or with them has been fucking me, but that's a good look from you, Maxi, aka Blazy Can. I think that if you guys like the plus money on the assist for Tyus Jones, that's a good bet to tail right there. I don't feel comfortable with it. Let me see. Esteban's bringing up an under, and then I'm going to get to Matas too, Blazy, because I saw you brought that up. We'll bring up Mr. Buzelis because we know he's going to be getting time. Esteban says, you have something, David?
Yeah, I was just going to say a couple people are mentioning the rebounds with the same sort of look. So I was just wondering if RA or rebounds by themselves are a look.
Interesting. 11.9 per game, where it's an 8.5 number here. Interesting. So yeah, you get a little bit of a bump with the boards. Tough to say. The rebounds for him are at 2 per 36. So yeah, I mean, I tend to try to trust the on-off court numbers a little bit more than just what he's done in the games without. But there could be something to the fact that, in the games without, where you just do it this way, you're getting a whole game of him with the mindset of like, I'm the third guy. I've got to be a playmaker / scorer / be involved. And I think that makes sense for someone like Tyus when you look at it like that. The rebounds and assists, yeah, you could add that. I mean, I really would love this at 7.5, but that would mean you do need 2 more. So just 2 boards, which is about what he's averaging. And they have this, they really think he's going to get the boards. That's why they have it at minus 160, 165. I like that. I think that's intelligent. Adding the boards for Tyus, that makes a lot of sense. And we saw last game for Tyus. Was this right here? No, when was the last game? I think Beal was in this last game. They just played this one. No, because this was with KD. Let me take KD out. So this is the last game. Did not have KD or Beal. Just 3 dimes in this one, but he got the points too. I know that. That's why I usually like to take the points and assists with him, because he and Booker kind of switch off doing their thing as like the facilitator. I mean, he still took 17 shots in this last game. Now, I don't think he's going to get 17 shots with KD. That's kind of the point though, right? If we look at this again with KD and Book on the floor, he's looking at about 10 shots per 36 when KD's out there. So KD doesn't leave a lot for him. I think that's the look. I still think you got to take the points with it. It's 11.5. I don't like any of these numbers for Tyus. This is a really, really good defense. So there's just not going to be a moment of time where like he's playing against a bad defender, right? You're just going to see all these dudes come in just one after the other. It's a good defender. Jalen Wells, Luke Kennard's actually not bad. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, GG off the bench. So good bench for Memphis means not a lot of easy minutes for Tyus. I think if you're going to play the Tyus stuff, I do like the rebounds and assists. I also like the points and assists. I think I'd be adding assists to one of those too, but that is the prop that he does the most. So Blasey with the 6.5 look feels like a good look. Let's see. Amar Oak has we'll stay in this game for a minute because I haven't done much with it. I don't like Memphis because of the minutes that they just play. Like when you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys with props, it's only because they play 9 guys that much. You think you're getting 9 props worth of guys from the Knicks? You're crazy. Maybe 5 minutes before the game starts. But the fact that they even have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only reason they even have 6 is because OG is questionable still, but he's not playing. Like OG's not playing. So if everybody, did he get ruled out already? He might have already gotten ruled out. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't think he did if he still has props up, but I don't think he's playing. So put it that way. Let me get back to Bane. Just that was my tangent about not loving to bet on this.
He remains a game time decision.
Sure. Nick's gonna be coy as always. So Bane points. We got these 19.5, 21 a game in the last 22 games. Let's see when that was about when he started to play well. It was the last 22 games or so where he started to play normal minutes. So he was still playing 24, 27. This is where he starts to get back into the 30s. So for Bane points, why would we do that? The thing about Phoenix is, right, 6th versus the spot up. So this is what I always look at when I'm trying to bet on or against, rather, Phoenix, is how they defend pull-up shots versus how they defend catch and shoot. You're going to see this really easily if I go to NBA stats and I go to look at the shot types. So here I can pull up shots, right? And look at the Phoenix defense. They are second in terms of the frequency with which they're giving up pull-up shots. So teams are taking a ton of pull-up against them because they don't let you take the catch and shoot. That's been but Mike Budenholzer's MO since he was at Milwaukee, since forever. Mike Budenholzer his teams always play against the catch and shoot really well. So you need to be a guy pulling up. Obviously, that would mean this guy is the one taking the majority of the pull-ups, a lot more than the other two. But let's actually see over the course of the last, let me go to it this way. Let's go to players. Let's look at pull-up shots for players. Let's go to tracking and pull-up shooting. Let's do the last 10 games for Memphis and see who's taking the pull-ups for this squad. So Desmond's playing 8 of the last 10. Ja's played 7 of the last 10. That's good enough for me. Desmond Bane's actually taking more pull-up shots. I wanted to catch myself before I was like, well, that's Ja. Is it though? Is Ja taking shots at all, or is he just driving and jumping over people, pirouetting in the air? So Desmond would be a good look here with the amount that he's pulling up. It's still 5.4, not that many, but it's actually the fact that it's more than Ja over the last 10 games does make you feel a little bit better about it. He's got a nice hit rate going on 19.5, but not much wiggle room. Averaging 21. I mean, he does consistently get to it. 15 shots. It's a pretty good gamble if you're gonna make a gamble out of it. I'll say that. In these last 22, let's see about when he plays with Ja real quick. With Ja lately. So if you do it with Ja over the last 22, the hit rate's not quite as good. You know what I mean? It's not just a hit rate play. But the number is high for a dude who's taking okay. So this is with Ja. With Ja, I'm going to do this. Field goal attempts. He's taking 13.7 on the season. He's taking 12 when he plays with Ja. So slightly fewer shots. When he plays without Ja, he's taking 15.8 shots per game. So he's taking 4 more shots per game when he plays without Ja Morant. And that's why without Ja, he's at 19 a game. And with Ja, he's at 17 a game. So there's not much there for me. Phoenix, call their defense bad if you want. It's been good enough anyway. So yeah, the Santi system, that should work. But once again, the reason I'm scared of the Santi system is that dude is just taking straight up pull-ups. That is what he takes, right? 37% of his points are off the spot up. Not pull-ups. I'm sorry. This is how he scores. Does get some points in the transition as well. Minus 115. I'm kind of intrigued to take Santi. This does stay hella low. Who would be Zach Edey started to lose a fit. We saw him get taken out against was it the Bucks? Yeah, he had 19 minutes against the Bucks. No, which game? It was probably the Rockets. 17 against the Bucks, 19 against the Rockets. After playing 20s a bunch, he kind of went down. It kind of seemed like the coach was Taylor Jenkins was pretty pissed off at Edey, which might mean a few more minutes for the Santi system. I don't know, Crank Zone, what do you think? Santi system day? Kind of feels like it could be a good look. I usually prefer to go to Santi as well when they kind of need a good backup big, and like that's just Mason Plumlee. I don't think you got to worry about that too much. You got the minutes last game though. You got me intrigued with Santi. He always plays well against the Bucks. Played well against the Rockets. He'd have to miss a lot of shots. He's getting the shots. He's getting the minutes. With Ja, he's playing minutes. Let's see. On the season, this is field goal attempts. One more shot per game with Ja. That's for starters. You got the ED double plus 1,100. Sheesh. That is crazy. Playing a few more minutes. Yeah, off value alone. I feel you, brother. Like, yeah, good on you. 11-1 for a double for a 7'4" man. But we do need him to play 20 minutes to get that. That could still happen. I do. Now I'm really intrigued by Santi, though, in the Santi system. 9.5 minus 115. That's not a bad number at all. Ooh, I like that. He does usually get like 4 or 5 minutes at the end of the first quarter. So he's got to get in there and get the shots off. But I mean, we know Memphis is going to play hella fast. Fuck it. I'm going back to Santi. When in doubt, let's go back to the old standby. Minus 115 on the 9.5. I can't get past him with Ja averaging fucking 14.5 points a game. We should just be hitting this. This should be a system play every time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for the points. And if anything, I'd be going for the boards before the assists, to be honest. 6.9 nice per game with Ja on the boards. The PR is a really good look too. It's all a good look. It's the Santi system. They devalue him because there's so many guys on Memphis, but we'll just go right back to it. I'm just going to take the points. I don't know if the rebounds are going to help me. 5.5, meaning if he gets like 7 boards, but he's averaging 6.5. So if he gets 6 boards, doesn't really help me on the points, to be honest. Yeah, I think I just take the points. Let's go over 9.5, David. We can take the minus 115 on that. I think it's 6, 1/2 dozen the other with the board. So I'd rather just take the points as is. All right, I'm going to add the Santi points there. Over 9.5 is minus 115 on FanDuel. It's also minus 115 in a couple other places. I also do like the fact that doesn't feel like the books know what to do with him. Whenever you see the bet priced pretty much the same way on both sides, minus 115 on both sides or what have you, or anything kind of close, like even the points and rebounds are like minus 115, minus 111 to the under. So when you have it priced similarly on both sides, it's because the book doesn't feel confident one way or the other, to be honest, and probably hasn't gotten that much action on it either. So that's another reason why it hasn't moved much. This is them opening it up pretty even, but I'm great with the 115. So I'm adding that to the card here. So we're down to we're up to, I should say, a like five bets now. Yeah, 5 bets I got down. All right, get this on my card as well. I would play this to minus 25. Minus 130 gives you a 9% edge. So I would play this minus 125 if you can't get it at a better number. To minus 120. Yeah, I wouldn't play this past minus 125 for Santi. That's what it is. I get a Santi Aldama. It's a me, Santi. All right. Here we go. All right, we got Santi Aldama on the card. I always feel good when we have Santi Aldama on the card. It's just like nice to have a nice, reliable stable there. All right, so we got Santi bet up. Everything is going to be scrolling on the bottom as well. Going to be going here for a few more minutes for you guys. Definitely go ahead and make sure to give this video a like. Whoever is jumping in the comments and correcting my grammar and saying I should be saying give this video a like instead of that video. Much appreciated for the grammar police. I will be saying this video, but this video, give it a like, and I recommend subscribing to the page. I'm going to come out with a video tonight for sure. I'm going to be starting on tomorrow's slate pretty shortly after this show ends. So I'll be getting right into all 15 games as much as I can. I'll have that episode out tonight, and we'll be back for the live tomorrow. I think I'm going to have Daft and Prop Bomb on tomorrow, so we can get double the help for everything we've got here for tomorrow. So definitely want to make sure to tune in 5:30 p.m. every day. Also, just one more reminder, if you do want to jump into the VIP, up 50.8 units on the season, and we are going to keep it going. So if you want to jump in for a free month and check it out, see how things go for you, you can sign up rather for any of the sports books that they're scrolling right underneath me. They're also linked in the description of the video. If you sign up for any of those and use code LYB, send me a screenshot on Twitter or Discord showing me that you signed up for any of these books with that code. And I will go ahead and get you a free month in the VIP section of the Discord to get all the plays. And I started officially this week the one-on-one sports betting consultations. So if you're not yet in there, or if you are in there and haven't signed up for one, just go to the meetings channel in the VIP section of the Discord, sign up for 30 minutes, and we can go over exactly whatever you want to go over, but hopefully help you find some good sports betting habits and help you understand exactly what's going on in this whole sports betting gamut that we see all the time. But all right, let's close out with a few more looks if you guys got them. Haven't talked much. We still need to know about Toronto, Philly. So I'm just going to go into the comments and just go free reign for a minute and see what we got and then go from there. I told Esteban that I would at least look at the Scotty under PRA and see if that showed me anything. So Scotty Barnes under PRA without RJ and Pirtle. Okay, let's take a look. Under without RJ. Let's also take out Pirtle. See what we're talking about. So yeah, nice hit rate to the under here. Jesus. Holy hell. He's averaging 35.8 minutes per game and averaging what is this? 25.6 PRA. And they got him at 35.5. Why? Why is that, Esteban? Do you know why that would be, Esteban? What is going on here, Esteban? That was something I was thinking for a minute. Philly's defense has been horrible. Philly's defense has been absolutely terrible. Let me go back to the advanced stats page. Let me go back to teams. I'm going to go to advanced stats. Let's do the last 10 games for a minute. Defensive rating. Philly 23rd, their last 10. They're just hemorrhaging a lot, man. They're so bad. Let's go to see the opponent shots real quick. I'll look at that. Let's go to by zone. Let's do last 10 games. Last 9, whatever. Last 10. Get this. So in the last 10 games, right next to the basket, team's getting up a ton of shots right next to the basket. Attempts anyway. Giving up a decent ton of makes as well right next to the basket. It's a lot of what Scotty wants to do. So if he's going to be able to get all the way to the rim, then that's what scares you. But this is on just averages and hit rate alone. Pretty damn good look, my man. Under 35.5 you can get for minus 105 on DraftKings. That's definitely a look. Did I have Toronto up here or no? No, I had Phoenix up, so I don't have it up, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's a great look. I'm glad you brought that up. I'll try to see if I have anything else for it when I'm looking at my stuff here in a minute, but that seems like a pretty good one as well. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, 29.5 feels like a little bit more accurate. Yeah, that's I think that's good. I do like that. Let's see. I'm seeing if I got any more looks here. Ooh, Yoshua took Joel Embiid on the first quarter. 6.5 is pretty low for a guy scoring a bunch in the first quarter. I mean, I think he's playing in this one because I don't think he's playing in the next one, really what it comes down to for me. 6.8. This got bumped up, obviously. But if you can still get the 6.5 even money on ESPN Bet, that's probably a pretty good look for Joel in the first quarter points. I see that. Yeah, HBK, our guy Crankstone, if you can still get this like close to 1,100, plus 1,100, then as far as a flyer goes, but the books do know that he's it was in the news. Taylor Jenkins, the head coach for Memphis, was saying that it's not likely they're going to see as much Edey. He's kind of been a liability on defense and they're a little bit pissed at him. So yeah, I would keep that in mind. Let me see about a couple others here. Mogbo PR. So it's tough to take the center going against Joel. If it's really low, you might be able to get away with it. Let's see. This is without Barrett and Pirtle. So this was last game as well. 31 minutes. Yeah, he's playing a few more minutes without them, especially as of late. So the minutes are going to be pretty good. But there's a reason that when you play against Joel Embiid as a center, you don't really do nearly as well with the rebounds or the points. He not only is he a very big man and good rebounder, but he's playing a lot at the top of the key, right? So it's tough to like really when he drags the centers away. He does a lot of the shooting. So when you're the guy guarding the shooter, it's tough to then turn around and get the rebound, right? Because you have to contest. So you're out of position to get the boards. So I don't like taking the opposing center points and rebounds against them. I actually prefer to take a guy like Scotty Barnes or to a degree, Ochai. They don't really have a player where I like taking rebounds against the 76ers. But like if this was Josh Hart against the 76ers, love that. Love an athletic wing. If this was Amin Thompson or Osar Thompson against the Sixers, love to take the rebounds for those guys against Joel teams, because Joel is beating the crap out of the opposing center, and that person then struggles to get the boards. I'd like to take the Scotty boards, but there's no correlation to these guys being off court and Scotty getting rebounds, which baffles me. But maybe he's playing a little bit more point guard. I don't know. I don't like betting on Toronto in these weird situations where I don't know who's going to be doing what. So I'm probably going to move past that one. Let me see if we got anything else. And then I'm going to have to get out of her. I think Better's in a bunch of different states. I think it's in like, I want to say 34, 32. Might be a little bit less than that, but it's pretty available. So, all right, let me see what else we got in here. Yeah, definitely give the video a like. Appreciate all the good vibes in the chat. Haven't had any trolls in a minute, so appreciate y'all. Let's see. What was the Alex pick? Alex Caruso. Yeah. Thanks, Daft, for sure. Alex Caruso got his 10 points in the first half. So Daft he didn't have a great day yesterday either, but that was a nice look for him. So I'm sure you can pass those thanks along. Ooh. This is what I'm talking about here. We got the Santi double plus 950. Do not hate it, my boy. I do not hate it. Katie boards. Let me just see about that, and then might be out. Let's see. Kate, how many games do we have props up for tomorrow already? That's also interesting. Hell yeah, 3 of them. 3 of them. That's nice and early. We're gonna get in on that. So KD on the boards. I used to definitely go after these. My man kind of stopped looking as aggressive without the boards, but with D-Book, and it's tough. Now things are a lot different with Nick Richards out there as opposed to others. You'd think he'd help out with the boards, but not sure. So either way, I got a lot of work to do for tomorrow. So I'm going to jump into everything. Appreciate y'all being in here as always, man. We got always got the crew in here. So I'll be back tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Going to have some help with 30 teams playing. So I'm going to have Prop Bomb. I'm going to have Embiid's in. Yeah, that's a great call. Going to have this guy as well. Jalen Smith over threes. All right, a random daft one to bless the chat with before we dip out. But yeah, it looks like Joel's playing, so you can get in on that. Jalen Smith should be getting a few more minutes as well, so I could see that. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. All right, so Daft, you're going to be on tomorrow. I just locked you in by telling everybody that you're going to be here tomorrow, so you have to be. And then Prop Bomb's going to be on as well. I don't know if you actually have to be, but I would love for you to be, so we can get some help on it. But anyway, appreciate you guys. Definitely remember to give this video a like. Go ahead and subscribe to the page. Put those notifications on so you don't miss any of the videos coming out, like the one tonight for tomorrow. And that's going to be all. So until I see you guys next, happy betting.